So in this video, I just want to show you how you can create a path, so a line, and then apply text that will follow that line or that path. So this is called text on a path. And so we're going to create a curved path by using our pen tool. And I'm just going to kind of make a curve like that. Oops, and I don't need any fill, so let's get rid of that. So now I do have a path. I'm going to go ahead and make it so you can see the path, although later I'm going to get rid of that path, but I want to be able to see it right now for this demonstration. Now that I have that path, I want so I can write some type on this path so it follows that curve. And I can do that using the Type on a Path tool, which is over here underneath the Type tool. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it. And then if you can see, it's like a regular type or text cursor, but it has sort of a little curvy line attached to it. If I roll that over my path, a little plus sign shows up. So I can click there, and now you can see, hopefully you can see, there's a blinking cursor at the beginning of this path. And so I am just going to type here. Let me make my font a little bit bigger so you can see it. And so you can see when I type, it just types along that path. And now if I don't want to see that path, I can go over, let me pick it again, and get rid of that path. So now I just have text that curves, and I can use that in a lot of different applications. Now that I've typed it, I can actually click on it, and you can see there's like a little line with a box on it. If I roll over the line, you can see a little tiny icon with, it looks like a vertical line with an arrow pointing to the right. If I click and hold, I can then drag that type around upon in that on that line, on that path. So I can drag it around so it can be in different areas along that path. I'll show you another example of that. I'm going to create a path that's an ellipse. So I'm going to make sure that there's no fill, and I'm going to give it a black 1 point, maybe I'll make it heavier just so we can see it, stroke. And so I'm going to make sort of an oval, like, let's make it a circle. So now I have a path and I want to type on it. So I'm going to go pick my Type on a Path tool again, and I'm going to roll over that until I see that. And so I'm just going to type something. Let me make my font a little bit bigger. Maybe not that big, that's too big, sorry. So I'm going to type something on this, and just for fun, let's make that a different color so we can see it separate from the stroke. We'll make it a red. All right, so here we have my type on a path, text on a path. So I'm going to click it again, and I get that little slidey box. Now I want you to see how it works when you have a whole circle. So literally I can make it go down all the way around. Now, in the previous example, the text was upside down, but if you if you have a shape that only has sort of a bottom portion and doesn't have a top portion, the type will actually appear in the inside of your path rather than on the outside, like in the previous example. And it will go sort of down. It's kind of hard to describe, so I'm going to do this. So I have a path here I've created, and I'm going to roll over it. And if I click on it, you'll see now, it's hard to see, so let me make the text bigger. It's actually lining up with the inside of the path instead of the outside. which I have it too long, so here I'm going to double click and make it slightly smaller so you can see the whole thing. So there you go. You can do it that way. You can also change the baseline of this using your character panel, which I do not have out here, but I could. I could tell it to appear on the other side of the baseline or whatever, however I want it to look. On this one, I would most likely get rid of the path, and so there I have a nice little curved version of my text, and that's how you do type on a path.